And welcome to episode number 36 of the GrowthArtic podcast. Today it's all about
it's very close.
Time. Time versus money.
Time versus money.
It's such an important topic, especially for us. We both used to have product businesses or were involved in product businesses, and we are now in the time for money trap.
Yeah.
Right? And there are pros and cons about that, but mostly I feel it's cons. How do you feel about time for money?
Yeah, it's the same. So we try to talk always about our things that are going on. What is the biggest challenge right now? And for me, right now, the biggest challenge is that I say, okay, there's something going, so something works. So there's a lot of requests. We're doing some marketing stuff, and I get more requests.
Then you can say yes to.
Then I'm able to deliver.
Yeah.
So we talked a lot of times about building up a team. So both of us, we are something like coaches or trainers or whatever. So I think both of us has a small team around us, but they are supporting our businesses in terms of marketing, in terms of bookkeeping, in terms of pre-sales or whatever. But the question is, what can I do? What is the option to duplicate yourself maybe, or to build up a young person, to train, to develop a young person to be beside you?
Yeah.
Or so I think it's
there are so many options, and this is what we want to discuss today, because we have many of those avenues ahead of us. It's for sure a process we can take you along with, but the fundamental problem is that you always in the time for money business you will hit a ceiling. It does not matter what your daily rate is, even though I keep on believing that. There is a ceiling, and you might want to actually have a life beside your business, and you're always not incentivized. You're always incentivized to spend more time in your business, and that is not what the entrepreneurship lifestyle is about. It's for me at least, it's much more about building the system, building freedom. And you already mentioned a couple of ways to go, and you guys might be stuck there too. You might be in a service business, you might be in high-touch B2B sales, and you wish people would just sign up like in a software as a service deal. I know you, you have the same problem. And for example, you mentioned building an agency, to scale. Then another example you mentioned before that is franchising your business. Then the trainer model a bit, where you teach multiple people at a time. It's still time for money, but it's multiplied, and the number of people is actually not that limited. It's still your time. But for me, for example, I'm very consciously waiting. I don't want to do the agency. I would like to build an education, a scalable digital education thing before. Dude, it's actually happening. It's actually happening.
Good.
I swear. We are going to launch before Pirate Summit.
When is it? June?
It's in June.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm forcing myself. I'm not letting anybody else do my job in quote unquote until I have this education part.
Okay, maybe let's start at the first one without talking about daily rates and so on. But one option could be increasing your daily rates. So that not all requests would say yes, because maybe it's too expensive. So there's something like a native filter.
This is what I would recommend to every creative. Just double your price, and maybe you lose half of your clients, but guess what? You still make the same money.
So that's number one. That is one thing where I'm playing with, because for me there's a big difference in maybe is this workshop in Cologne, then it is maybe 1 day or 2 days, but for myself it's even even much more easier to deliver than if it is in Austria. So that's something maybe it's not increasing the value of the customer, because the workshops in Cologne are the same like in Austria, but for me it's much more convenient. So that's something what I think we always want to deliver the best value for the customer. And if you start playing with your daily rates in terms of it is convenient for me or not, I think it's really hard. It's not the right way.
One question. Why? I do the same, but I do not understand it. Why would I lower my rates for the locals? It does not make any sense whatsoever, right? Like I do it because it's more convenient, but why? Yeah, it's true. It's back into the mindset of what costs do I have, and based on that cost, I build my pricing. Right. And the opposite is to do value-based pricing, which is completely independent of your costs. Exactly. Yeah. So I feel the trap there a little bit.
But that's one thing what I'm experimenting with. So maybe one step before I forgot to mention is, and I don't want to start with this why thing and so on, but in the end, what is the goal? If you start again with your goal, what is the goal? Do I want to increase my revenue in the end of the year, or do I want to have a really strong relationship, maybe not with 30 customers, maybe with 10, but then real training programs for good money, for good value? So there's something to discuss as well, right? Just to deliver a lot of customers, a lot of value, a lot of pricing stuff, or is it just training programs for really close clients?
But what you said is like defining what the goal is. I think I mentioned the book already, The Company of One, a new book by Paul Jarvis. He highly recommends defining enough. That he not only set like minimum goals, I want to get at least so and so many thousands per year, but also maximum where you say like, once I've gotten that, I'm good. I can focus on something else. I find that so fascinating because I've never done so, and to get out of the money trap, I'm trying this. I have my minimum cash goals, the time for money goals, but once I'm over the track, I spend more and more time in developing the resource that is the long-term, the product game. And I needed to hear that. And I did never hear it before. And it's super anti-growth for growth's sake. And I feel that we also have this claim at Pirate Skills, the purpose-driven growth. He drives that point home like so precisely.
That's interesting because we talked a lot of times about the goals for 2019. Startups has to increase by 30%, by 50%, by 100%. Where I say now, okay, after 2 years, so I'm really satisfied with how it's going, with everything. And for sure, there are a lot of challenges, but in the end, I would say, okay, my goal for this year was to duplicate.
To double the revenue.
Double the revenue. And now 2 months later, I say yes. But why are you so hard to yourself?
Yes.
There are no investors. I have nothing I don't have to show any figures to anybody. So it's my own decision to duplicate my revenue. So where I say,
the question is why?
Why? Why? Where I say, okay, why? Maybe half the pace, so half the pace could be a really good thing. And in April, so today is mid of February, so we will get baby number 2 in April. Right? In April, it's two months, only 2 months, where I start hustling now. Okay, I have to do this customer before, because then I want to take a break of maybe 4 weeks or something to celebrate the biggest thing on earth. So in my opinion, but why?
Let me give you.
I could just break. And then if the break is done, and everything is settled up at home, I could start again. So it would be no problem.
So I recently listened to a podcast of the Baulig brothers, who it's a German podcast that I can recommend, but they had a good why. I had a good answer to that, because I was like, why? And then they said something and I was like, yes man, why? They said it is just as hard to build a 1-person 200K business as a 6-person 1 million business. Yeah, and
it's the same effort.
Yeah, he says like it's the same amount of effort you put in personally, but in the 1 million 6 people business, you can absolutely focus on your core competences.
Yes, true.
And I was like, fuck guys, I don't like you particularly much, but that was amazing. Yeah, that was amazing. So what do you think about that? Like that's a good why, and that is a way to scale, like getting rid of all the tasks that keep you from your core message.
Yeah, that's the same question, like what is the goal in the end? Maybe not for the end of 2019, but what do you want to build up?
Yes.
Do you want to build up an agency because in 5 years you want to sell it to somebody? Could be. Yeah, selling personal businesses, personal brands is
kind of hard.
It's kind of hard. There are good examples like Jochen Schweizer after 25 years or so, but not that much examples. So what is the goal in the end? Or do you want to do something like purpose-driven to help people getting their first stage of water, blah, blah, blah. So that's something what I think what fits exactly to this point. I had a discussion with a good old business colleague. I know I would say for 15 years now. He's from Munich. He's really experienced, and I like have some sparring chats with him. And he told me after 15 years, he said, okay, today if I have 50,000, and if I'm able to decide, give 50,000 to a new employee, or spend 50,000 in something like a piece of software.
Yeah.
That's a good one too.
That's a really good one.
50,000 for a person, and we are building up teams. So our opinion right now is clear, but in the end, 50,000 in a person, or 50,000 in a software, or in Google AdWords,
or exactly,
in whatever. So that's something what's really easy. So if you have 10,000 to spend, just think about which part do you want to go.
So. Picking that idea up, for me, the reason why I care about this time for money is I want to increase my options. Even like first thing is get super clear on the why, and like think at least a couple of steps ahead. But if you are not sure, my primary strategy is to increase the number of options. I don't know what to study in university, so my best option is to get the best grades as possible, so I'm free to study medicine, psychology, whatever, because if I don't have that, I don't have the options. So for me, one of my endgame goals is to build something that is relatively time independent. I do not believe in passive income, but more passive income than I currently have. Now, that's what I believe in. And from that point, let's say I could have a solid team of 5 to 6 people where I do not have to worry about being able to pay them and being able to have having the option to make the decision: more people, more software, more ads. Right now, I do not even have that option. And I have none of those 3 options at the moment currently. For me, it's like more sales. Oh yeah, I can do that. Oh no, I'm out of time. I lost options. And even if you have a service-based business, think about on how you could build at least one part of that as a product-based business or as a productized service. That is a model I keep on seeing that I really like. My favorite example is WP Curve. They do flat rate WordPress software support. So you pay them around $100 per month, and you can give them tasks as many as you like, but they may not last longer than 30 minutes. to do them. And so the guy who initially did that service, who was a service provider, an IT guy for WordPress, he can now hire people from all over the world who can manage those 30 minutes tasks. Yeah, and they're super distributed, and now he productized his service into a box that is easily sellable. You mentioned the Jochen Schweizer example. It's an experience like a bungee jump, but he was smart enough to put it in a box and put that into bookstores. Yeah, that's fascinating. Yeah. What happens once you define your service more as a product, I think. What do you think about that model?
Yeah, totally agree. So I hope I'm on the way to have something like a productized service, because the way I'm offering my trainings, so I have 2 formats only, 2 training formats, and I'm offering it to everybody because I know for 80% of all requests of all customers, it fits perfectly. So I don't have a lot of effort to change the content, to change the structure, to change the agenda.
Make that better again and again.
Yeah. But that is the part where I say, okay, having this kind of product, so training as a product, and the way I do my content marketing and my sales pipeline, I think that's really good already. Where now I have a colleague in my team who's working in this pipeline, so that's the next step. And when I think, or when I try to think 2 years in the future, I believe so much in this kind of growth hacking mindset. In this mindset, so that my goal is not revenue in the end. I want to infect as many people, as many teams as possible with this kind of mindset of experimenting and being curious and so on and so on. Just infect them with this, so that I'm pretty sure I will find some people around me that will spread this message as well. Yeah. In which form? With the brand, today I don't know, but that's my end goal for the next 2, 3, 4 years, to find as many people as possible, something like ambassadors or colleagues, or maybe in the end it's maybe consultancy or whatever. I have no idea, but I don't care today. But that's something where I say, okay, I want to find and to develop and to find as many people that start this journey with me. Yeah. And if it is in the end franchise, or I don't care today, I just want to find these kind of people. I have 3, 4 already. So where I'm starting talking about, okay, what do you think? Could we do something? Could you maybe do the growth hacking bootcamp in Berlin? Yeah. Not myself. Here's my material. You can have everything to make it, because I think for sure my format is it's stable. Yeah. And I proved more than 25 times for this public bootcamp that it works. Same for you with this Pirate Skills meetups and your workshops as well. So it's pretty clear, and everybody could be happy to get this kind of material, to get these stories and examples, just to start being a coach for this. But
that's cool. Yeah, we shall see. So the horse I'm betting on is something I learned from Russell Brunson, to actually build a funnel before you funnel. Yeah, to what he, for example, he does, he sells his book on the website for free. You just take over shipping and handling, so he gets at least a minimum commitment, and that offer he can promote like a motherfucker. Yeah, and there is an upsell after the purchase. Yeah, maybe the Funnel University, a $99 per month thing, and then that funnel is not even his work. It's not even his job. It's not even his software that he built. It's not even the high-end mastermind or the workshops. It's just something that pre-qualifies the people for you. Yeah, and that you can put 10K in per month and at least get 10K out. Yeah, and once you have such a machine running for you, you are so much more confident in the predictability of the leads that are coming in, that you are much more able to then diversify time and money efforts. So that's the card I'm putting my bets on, and I think most service businesses out there and designers, there is an opportunity for something like an online course that can be sold upfront, that positions you as the thought leader in that area, and from where you can build much more predictable lead generation. So that would be my final words on that. Do you have anything to add?
I think probably I would say it's really the same idea in terms of online courses. So I think I mentioned a lot of time that I hate online courses, but the people are asking for it. So my customers, when I start leaving in the evening after the training, they say, okay, why don't you have something like an online course to repeat it for repetition? Where I say, okay, for me it's a brand decision, because I don't want to be somebody who has an online course on Udemy or something with 20 years old. I can help you how to get rich in 3 days. Yeah. So that's not what I think. What is good. So everybody can do what they want. Yeah. But for me, it's more like sustainable growth. Where I say, okay, I can help to build a sustainable growth business, and that's something what is important. But what I see what is an opportunity for my business is to sell this kind of online course after the training, not before. So not as an awareness thing in the first part of the funnel, but after the trainings, after the workshops. So there I have the decision who can take it. So maybe it's not for everybody. It's okay, and here you can repeat everything what you heard. And I'm happy if you do it. I have no idea of a business model today, but I don't care. I would start it and just let them test it. So I have a small MVP version now where I'm testing with, and see where it goes.
I'm curious what you guys think.
Really, maybe there's a solution.
Yeah, share your ideas, the best articles you know about that, or videos that you want to recommend to other people, and let us know. Get in touch with us. Use the b@growthartic.com
or just comment.
And I hope to see you in the next episode, number 37, my friend.
That's a nice number.
It's my favorite number.
Really?
37.
It's nice, because I thought it's a nice number. 37.
It's a nice high, a 2-digit prime number. I love prime numbers. See you guys. Bye bye.